Welcome to Get Your FRQ On. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to graph a polynomial function once you know its zeros and their multiplicities. So before you try to graph a polynomial function from its zeros, you do have to know the zeros, and you do have to know their multiplicities, because multiplicity of a zero is going to affect, one, what polynomial you're actually graphing, and two, whether or not it looks the right way. So let's say I know the zeros and their multiplicities, and I want to graph the function. So I'm going to go to my function editor, which in this case is y equals, way up in the upper left-hand corner. And let's say I have a 0 at -2. The way that the 0 translates into a factor is it's always x minus the 0. So if -2 is a 0, x minus -2 is the factor, well, that's going to turn into x plus 2. All right, then let's say I have a 0 at +1, but that 0 has multiplicity 2. So I can type in my factor, x minus the 0. If the 0 is at +1, it's x minus 1. And then because it has multiplicity 2, I'm going to square that factor. And then let's say it has another 0 at x equals 3. And this multiplicity is 3. So I'm going to go x minus the 0. The 0 is at 3, so it's going to be x minus 3. And the multiplicity is 3, so I'm going to cube this factor. All right, so there is a polynomial out there. This one happens to be degree 6, which has a single 0 at -2, a double 0 at 1, and a triple 0 at 3. And when I graph this, notice I have a single 0 at -2. I get different behavior, which corresponds to an even multiplicity. And then I get kind of similar behavior to the one at -2, but it is actually different. The 0 at -2 goes straight through the x-axis. This one sort of curls in and then curls out. And if we want to zoom in on that, I'm just going to zoom in on that behavior so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. It bends into the x-axis and then bends away. It's not quite the same as happens with a 0 of single multiplicity. But then this is the correct graph. Now you might have a different leading coefficient. There's other ways to work with leading coefficients and zeros. Not really interested in doing that in this video, but that's how you can graph a polynomial function once you know its zeros.